This video is going to walk you through the steps of configuring a basic setup through the menu that we have up here at the top. As you can see, we have drop-downs that can support several levels of drop-down. In addition, it also supports columns. The most important thing to understand about this is that this is configured through the main menu, and you'll see how this unfolds here shortly. So I'm going to go to that system menu, Structure, Menus, Main Menu. Here is the layout that we have our menu set up. Obviously, News and Events just has those three simple drop-down menus as the second level. Well, if we go down to Theme Features where we have the columns set up, you can see that we have third levels up underneath of the second level as the hierarchy for a drop-down layout. Here's how we configure that. If I go into Structure, TV Mega Menu, this is the page that gives us access into configuring that menu. So of course we're using the main menu. Select Config. Once you get in here, it gives us the interface that allows us to configure how these menus show up. For example, if I grab Theme Features, I'm going to go ahead and reset these columns so you can see how this is done. I'm just going to ungroup a few things here. And at this stage, what I can do is I can also remove columns to actually put it back in its original state. And what I'll do in full is I'll go ahead and drop this into the original size here. So you can kind of see how this is done. Now that we have this in its original state, remember, each of these is drop-downs, and this will appear like that on the site. So if I did hit save and showed you the home page, or any particular page throughout the entire system, you'll see that it falls out just in this manner. But what we need to do is we need to set this up in its column layout. So the first thing that we should do is we should set the submenu width. Now again, the width of the site is 1170 in pixels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this to 800. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch this in at 800. You could set it to 1170 if you wanted to, but it's not appropriate. In addition to this falling off the screen over here and potentially a hazard when somebody's on a smaller desktop screen, what we need to do is we need to justify this menu. So once you have your background width, all we need to do is separate these into columns. So I can grab this JavaScript button here and I can break column left or right. This means that I can put the JavaScript on the left or I can put JavaScript on the right of component. But I'm going to break it to the right. And I can further that by grabbing the CSS goodies and breaking it to the right as well. Now if I save this and show you this on the home page, this isn't really user-friendly by having the drop-down set up on that top level here. As you can see, I barely have room and I can't see the actual next menu name. So we need to reconfigure that. What we can do is we can grab each of these. So if I choose on the component category here and select group, it drops it down underneath. I can do the same with JavaScript just by selecting group. Now if I save it, come back to the home page and refresh, you can see our columns are back in order. That's not all. This is a very powerful element. So notice, when I grab in here, I can also add another row. And I can make that row into several columns. So we could place content in each of these. Now what's important to understand about this particular menu, if I assign a block here and assign a block here, this middle one's going to disappear, so your formatting kind of disappears if you're only placing menu items under the goodies or the component. When I say place a block, what we have the ability to do is attach blocks from the back end. As you can see, we have all this information in here. So if I did choose, call us, you can see that we have that call us information show up in here. But that's not what we want to do. I'm going to go ahead and remove this block. So at this point, what we need to do is we need to create some block content. Now the idea I have for this particular demo is I'm going to go ahead and remove these two columns and just have one row in here. But first, before I can place anything, I need to go set up another block. So I'm going to come to Structure, Blocks, Add Block. And I'm going to title something that's easy to find. I'll just call this Mega Menu Demo. And in here, I can make use of the same HTML elements that are a part of the site. So let's say that I wanted to create just one string of text. That should be good enough for now. So I'm going to come down here. I don't need to specify a particular region. All I need to do is come down here and hit Save Block. Once I do that, I can come back to Structure, TV Mega Menu, Config, grab that Theme Features down here. I can grab the background and add a new row. Once I add a new row, I have the ability to choose my options. I can select the blocks that I want. So in my particular case, and with this menu chosen as set up, so I can type in Mega Menu, and you can see the demo block that we've created. Once I select this, it attaches to this particular block, and I can now save that. And again, coming back to the home page here, I can refresh, roll over it, you can see that we have text down here. Now what's great about this is how we can make this change even further. So let's say that I wanted to add additional content to that block or add additional blocks to it. Well, I can always add additional blocks. But the cool part of this is I can go back to structure, go into the blocks page, find the Mega Menu demo block I just attached, come into configure, and I can actually put HTML formatting in here. Just going to put some columns in here. I'm going to go ahead and attach an image to the right column. I'm going to go ahead and up to the top here and put in some text. Now all I have to do is come down here to the bottom and press save. Once I press save, close out of the blocks, I can open this up and you can see we now have the logo and some additional text in here. Now remember, you can put any type of formatting that you want.